Hello, in this video, I'm going to share with you my 12-week preventative health program. If you are a woman between the ages of 25 to 35, this is the health program for you. Hello there, my name is Lesline, and I am your favorite nurse yogi. I am a registered nurse with 12 years of healthcare experience, technically 14 because 2 years prior to becoming a nurse, while I was in nursing school, I was working as a healthcare tech in the hospital. So I've been in the hospital for almost 50, well, not in the hospital technically. I was in the hospital for the first 4 or 5 years of my career, and then I transitioned to case man. Anyways, I can give that video to you at a later time. It already is made, but I wanted to share what is in my 12-week health program because I've been sprinkling it here and there, but I want to share with you week by week because it is a 12-week health program. What do you get? And all of the information, if you're like, I need this because I know you do, you can click below and you can access it instantly. And we'll get into the different tiers and all of that. So, and I will say this, it is the reason I have curated this health program for women between the ages of 25 to 35 is because I truly believe that when you learn how to take care of yourself before, and everybody's different but before you turn 40 and hit perimenopause and menopause and all of that, right? It's important that you know how to take care of yourself before, because when menopause comes, it is harder. As you get older, it is harder to take care of yourself if you have not taken care of yourself prior. That's the nuance that people don't talk about enough, because a lot of people are sedentary. A lot of people do not eat nutritious meals. A lot of people do not sleep regularly. This is a norm that unfortunately should not be a norm. Hence why there is a lot of people that have diseases such as type 2 diabetes, such as congestive heart failure, such as renal failure, such as I was reviewing patients the other day. These women were a couple years, I'm 34. These women I'm reviewing, one was 34, one was 37, coming in for mismanaged diabetes, ending up in a diabetic coma, most likely will become septic and are at a greater chance of dying. Okay? So that's why I'm very passionate about this. And so I have created the tools that you need. And if you are over the age of 35, you are more than welcome. I would love to have you, because I feel like people are well, I'm not that age. So people sign themselves off. And it's no, this program is for women in general, but it is I want to catch, because I feel and it might be because of how my algorithm is curated, but I feel I'm hearing a lot about perimenopause and menopause, but I'm what about our younger sisters, right? Our people that are younger than me, do they know how to take care of themselves? Are they gonna wait? Because that's what it is too. You probably see these things, or you probably hear your aunts, your older friends talking about it. And you're well, I'm fine now. Everything's fine. And you barely work out. Maybe you do a Pilates class because you see people doing online. Maybe you eat a piece of fruit here and there. And it's okay because your body's young. You got that young body, like a new car. But as you drive the car, as you do the wear and tear on your body, it's going to reveal itself as you get older, right? So it's really important that you learn how to take care of yourself before the baby, before you get married, before you start that career. So that's why 25 to 35, I feel we're not getting those people, those women, and I'm here to help that. And ultimately, it is a preventative health program. Ultimately, save you and insurance, because that's what I work as a nurse right now, money. Okay, so it is 12 weeks. Let's get into it. So the first week so there's 3 phases of my health program, okay? So the first phase is the ground phase, okay? And my program is called the Ground and Glow program. I get a lot of compliments on how my skin is just glowing. And I also get a lot of compliments about how I'm a very grounded person. Naturally, I'm not somebody that I'm not somebody that's I want to fight. I want to cut up. That's just that's not in my DNA. So like me becoming a yoga teacher, it just made sense because I'm just very calm naturally. So I don't have any like I know there's people, and there's no shade at all. I know there's people that have like anger issues, and they have to take anger management, which yes, like please do that. I'm not like that. So I just have packaged how I am to help you. Okay, so phase 1 is the ground. It's build awareness and a foundation. In order to tackle anything in life, you have to be aware of it. You have to build awareness to like, okay, I need to take care of myself, right? Lesline is right. Like I have been feeling a little sluggish lately, and I didn't think anything of it because I'm fine. I'm young. I'll worry about that when I get older. And I'm here to tell you that's wrong. We need to take care of why are you feeling sluggish now, right? What's going on? And kudos to you for being mindful that you're feeling sluggish, right? Because I don't feel like we give ourselves credit enough for even just acknowledging like, oh, I am feeling this way, right? What can I do to feel more like myself? But if you are a young woman, you probably don't even know what yourself is, right? So in this program, we go through that. And a foundation, I give you a proper foundation. So in week 1, we do SMART goals, okay? We do our SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and my favorite, timely. Because you can talk all day about how, I want to gain because that's something I don't feel like I hear enough, because I used to be, growing up, I was a very skinny, barely had any muscle type of girl, okay? So my whole thing was learning how to gain weight. Before kids, I learned how to track my macros. I ran 2 half marathons. Like I had a personal trainer. Like when I tell you, I was like, I want to like bulk up. I want to get a 6-pack. Like, and I don't want to feel bad about that. Like I want it and I got it. So, with that being said, if you're like, yeah, I do need to like gain healthy weight. I do need to gain adequate muscle, because everybody, especially women, we need muscle, because you might be hearing this too. Maybe you haven't, but as we age, our muscle, like I said, you're a new car at first, right? Those first 35 years of life, you are like at your peak. And like a car, there's wear and tear, right? And that's what happens to your muscles. And if you don't use your muscles, you lose them. It's also called, here's a medical word for you, atrophy. Your muscles will atrophy if you do not pick up a weight, right? And what that looks like, I know you're super young right now and you ain't concerned. But another set of patients I be reviewing, they're like 70 and up. One piece of fall, the paths will come out. They fall, they have a fall, break their hip and die. Like and most of the time, the people that is happening to are women. Why is it happening to women? Because women typically, we're told that, oh, you shouldn't lift weights because that'll make you bulky. That's wrong. You need to lift weights so that because how you're internally, I'm going to give you some A&P, anatomy and physiology, your body has bone and muscle. The muscle supports the bone. It holds the bone. You think of the muscle as Play-Doh, if you will. That's a really bad term, but I have young kids. And then the bone is literally bone. You put the bone in the Play-Doh, right? And if that Play-Doh is not strong enough, like if you don't get a good amount of Play-Doh in the leg muscle, that bone is at a very great risk for developing what's called osteoporosis. Do you see where we're going? Okay. So that's why it's important to lift the weight. That's why it's important to do walking, running, like these weight bearing activities to build up the muscle. All right. So I digress. We do SMART goals, right? And we do SMART goals, affirmations, and we also talk about hydration this week, because I'm not just going to give you like a HIIT exercise. I actually don't give that at all in this program. I give like very realistic workouts. But once you start working out, especially if you have never worked out or you're intimidated by working out, this also is the program for you, because I'm doing it more holistically. Okay. So anyways, So like I said, and I thought in this video, y'all, I was like, this is technically, I believe it's going to be either day 50 or 51 days of 100 days of YouTube straight. So I'm halfway there and I'm on my way to feel. I really need to look up that song, because if you've been watching every single video, I've been saying that lately, and I don't remember where. Is it Switchfoot? We were meant to live for so much more. I was raised in the church, but not the black church, unfortunately. I'm very mad at my parents about that. I was raised in a white church, okay? And with that being said, Switchfoot, Reliant K, all right? Yeah. So anyways, we talk SMART goals for realistic progress, affirmations, and mindset training, because I can give you a meal plan, which I am later in the program. I can give you all these things, but if you do not have the proper mindset, you will fail this program. And failure is not bad. It isn't at all, because that means you tried, but you maybe this might be like your third or fourth health program or something, right? And then that's a bigger issue, because it's like, if this is your third or fourth health program, it really is a mindset thing, right? So we go through mindset training. We also go through hydration and a morning routine setup, okay? So I give you my lemon water habit, what I like, my drinking my lemon water every day, and I give you my morning routine. Everything that I do in life is routine based. I am so regimented that I know this sounds bad, but I don't really plan my workouts anymore. I don't plan my, it's just a part of my life. It's just integrated in my life. It's not a big ta-da, because 5 or so years ago, we were all in the house, I was figuring out myself. I was figuring out who I was post kids, right? Then we do journal reflection. So at the end of every week, we do a journal reflection. I ask you just to write out how you're feeling. I give you a prompt, all of that. Week 2 is stress awareness and mindful reset. So in week 2, I talk to you about what is stress and how that impacts your hormones. I feel like hormones is a buzzword now, but it's something that mainstream is now finally getting a hold of. And I break down the hormones, there are simple things, which we talk about in this program, that you can do to regulate your hormones. We also talk about how stress physically manifests. I then sprinkle in my yoga, how to use the breath and meditation to regulate your nervous system. And we journal reflect again. Week 3 is when we finally move our body, and I encourage you to actually go outside and do your movement. In this module, week 3, we talk about the importance. So every module, I'm telling you why this is important. I'm not just telling you need to do this. I'm giving you the why, the science, the reasoning why you need to do this. So we talk about the importance of daily movement for stress regulation and longevity, because that's the biggest thing, y'all. These intense workouts, I'm not going to lie, I do be liking an intense workout. Sometimes you need that little, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to throw a big weight around and punch a punching bag. Sometimes you do need that, but you can't do that every single day. Your body will deteriorate. So I tell you how just longevity is important. We then talk about hydration as a ritual, and I give you let's go outside activities. So things that you can do outside. I don't even tell you to go to the gym. I don't even tell you to leave your house, because like I said, I built this program during the pandemic when we could not leave the house. And I feel like that's a deterrent too, is people are like, oh, well, I don't have the money to go to the gym. I don't have the money. When I tell you investing in this health program will save you thousands of dollars, because what will end up happening if you do not invest in yourself, if you do not buy my course, you will eventually have to pay money, if that be medication, if that be, God forbid, you have to go to the emergency room, God forbid, you have to take the ambulance. That's 2 separate bills. It's 2 separate bills. Did you know that? If you have to take the ambulance, because God forbid you could not drive yourself to the emergency room, which that is an ultimate emergency, right? So yes, the ambulance picks you up, takes you to the nearest hospital. 2 separate bills that you got to foot. Okay. All right. So that's week 3. Week 4, we get into routine and a rhythm reset. That looks like, how do you create a routine? Like, so I give you my routine, but then I also share with you, like, how can we create a routine for you, right? So personalized routine. Then talk about how poor routines can disrupt health and preparing for morning and night routines. And we journal reflect again. So that's the end of phase 1. 2 more phases. Phase 2 is glow, nourish your body. So this is where the real glow, y'all, and this is week 5 to 6, we talk about sleep and recovery. Like I already said, you can do those HIIT workouts and those intense punch the bag, boxing. Those things are actually really great. I'm all about raising your heart rate intentionally. I used to be like, oh yeah, if you're doing housework, that counts. And in the comments, like I've had people be like, yeah, I did all this housework, that counts, right? And I used to I would be people pleasing and be like, yeah. And really, it's not, it doesn't count. And there's actually this doctor I follow online. I love her content. She's a cardiologist specifically. And she's like, she said this too. She was like, you cleaning up around the house is not adequate. It's not exercise. It's not, because in order to properly, I don't want to say like burn calories, because we're not about diet over here, any of that. But in order to help with cell turnover, here we go, there we go, it was like coming, to help with cell turnover, to help regulate your hormones, to help lower hormones such as cortisol, you have to bring your heart rate up above your regular resting heart rate. So our heart rate range is anywhere from 70 to 100. So for me, and I will make a whole separate video about this, but there is something called your target heart rate. We going real. You see how I'm going real in this? Like I'm going in this. Like who really talks to y'all about that? They just say exercise and say, you want to look snatched? I want to look snatched. I do look snatched, but I digress. My God, I am no better than a man. But what I'm getting at is this. You want to hit your target heart rate. Okay. Is future Lesline gonna do this next thing I'm about to say? So according to the American Heart Association, they have your target heart rate based on your age, because it's based on your age. So my target heart rate is gonna look different than somebody that is 25. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? Because I think I'm outside of that rate. Like I'm about to be the 30. You see what I'm saying? I forget how they range it, but it is by age. So I forget what mine is, but I did work out today. And so I look at my watch, because I use my watch, my Apple Watch, to track my workouts. And I normally, like, once I start to feel like, ooh, I'm doing something, my heart rate is about in the 160s. So 160 to like 170, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay? And I think that's what I'm supposed to be at. I want to look it up right now, but for sake of time, I'm not. But target heart rate, look your target heart rate up according to the American Heart Association if you live here in America, and let me know what it is. That's how high you want your heart rate to get in order to properly metabolize, in order to properly like get the actual exercise, because your heart is a muscle. And if you are not achieving what the target heart rate your heart needs, it ain't no workout. All right, as you see, I'm very passionate about this. So we talk about sleep and recovery, how sleep supports metabolism, mood, and hormones. We create bedtime rituals and screen boundaries. I turn my phone off like after 10 p.m. I try my best, not every day. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, sometimes I don't really doom scroll like that. My algorithm is actually really, really curated to a point of it's a little bad. Like it's so curated. So it's not a lot of doom. If I see something doom, I don't like it, because I'm like, I don't need to see this. So anyways, we do that. We journal reflect. Week 7 and 8, we then get into meals. We then get into macronutrients. I teach you how to count your macros. That's how I eat, is macronutrient based. Oh no, I'm looking through the syllabus. Okay, so we talk about macros and then meals and macros. So week 7 and 8, why breakfast is crucial for hormone balance and energy. Understanding macronutrients for hormone balance. The best time to eat lunch to boost your metabolism. You're going to notice I'm saying things to boost, even if, because I typically have a faster metabolism, but I know majority of people have a slower metabolism, right? But I'm talking to people that have fast metabolism. Let me talk to people because I made this for me and I know there's people. So if you have a fast metabolism, you have to still boost it because your metabolism will only stay fast for so long. Again, I said I made this program for women between the ages of 25 to 35. So your metabolism might be really great. Like you can eat a pizza late at night and you don't got no heartburn, right? And I love that for you. But as you approach 35, I be getting heartburn and I can't eat past like 10 p.m. I can't. If I do, which I do, I'm like, damn it. Okay. So I teach you though, like when to eat. I'm all about eating every 2 hours. I actually just made a post today where it's like, set your alarm because I'd be forgetting to eat every 2 hours, right? And it's not big meals. So dinner time and fighting indigestion. When I tell you, I be knowing my script stuff. So I teach you like when you need to eat dinner. We don't do late night dinner eating. Yes, if you're hanging out with friends and like those type of things, but regularly, no late dinner night eating. That's not good for your metabolism. And I go into why in my program. Week 9, I give you a vitamin guide, the essentials for women's health. If you have been following your girl for a minute, I don't like all these supplements. I actually get reached out to like regularly from various supplement companies. And I just am like, bruh, like I have my supplements that I do take supplements. I take a multivitamin every day. And then if I'm doing intense workout, I have other supplements I take. I share those in my program. I'm not going to share those here, but I do have my supplements that I take, but I'm not taking like 5 million supplements because also I tell you other things you need to do before you take a supplement. Okay, then in week 9, we talk about the common core vitamins because there are core vitamins that you do need, the deficiencies, and then food sources. Because I'm all about if you can find a food, because then what you're doing, man, this is just it oozes out of me. It's wild. But if you because like I said, eat every 2 hours. And you might be like, oh my gosh, especially if you are somebody that's like you're a young woman and you're just starting your career, or maybe you're a new mom and you're like, girl, like I be forgetting or whatever, right? You're telling me do this and that. But if you take a what's the word? Like a food first approach to your nutrition, to your health. If you take a food first approach to your health, you'll get these vitamins. So then you won't really like, it depends too if you how deficient you are. Not everybody is the same, but if you really try to focus on like, let me get these vegetables and before I eat this cookie, let me eat my piece of fruit, let me eat my yogurt. These all have the nutrients that you need to be getting regularly. We then talk about supplement safety and the importance of getting your blood work done first before you take a supplement, for the love of God. Cause it's bad. It's bad. There was an article, I forget where it was. Cause I follow a lot of doctors and stuff online, and that are evidence-based and all of that. I have to add that. And people are saying it's getting, like doctors are saying it's getting out of hand with people, like people just taking all these supplements and not getting their blood work done. So then what happens is you then like have all of this potassium in your bloodstream, and then God forbid you'll have heart palpitations because you have too much potassium, or you'll have not enough sodium. Next thing you know, you collapsing because you were like, oh, I had to like, it's just like all these things you hear online, but they're not evidence-based at all. So it's so important before you take a supplement to get your blood work done, and I tell you what to do and all that in here. Finally, phase 3 is ground and glow. Integrate your mind and embodiment. I am all about embodiment. I didn't realize that's when I'm like, it oozes out of me. What I'm also saying is like, I embody health and wellness. And that's why I created this program, because I want more of us to be well, right? So week 10, we recap awareness and foundations. Week 11, we recap nourishing your body. And then in week 12, I give you a yoga class, a yin yoga class specifically, and how to just embody everything we've learned. And yeah, so that is the program. So my program is amazing. I love it. I think it's so great. And so let's wrap up with this. How much does it cost? Great question. There are 3 tiers. There's the first tier, which is the do it yourself. This is the $297 option. At time of recording, it is March, what is today? Oh my gosh, is it March 26th? Yo, it's March 25th. It's Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. So I don't know when you're going to watch it. So if you're like, girl, why the price go to this or this? Yesterday's price is not today's price, right? But at time of recording, my do-it-yourself is $297. What does do-it-yourself mean? Because I just want to be clear, because clear is kind, like Brene Brown says. $297 means that you click the link below and you click that option and you immediately get dumped into the program. You get follow-up emails every few weeks that I do check in with you. And when you reply, I reply back and I support you in that way, but that's it. If you're like, girl, I need more support. How long was my bra like that, guys? If you're like, girl, I need more support, I highly suggest tier 2. Tier 2 is the cohort option where it's you and 4 other women, and we meet 3 times during the program. We meet for a kickoff call, we meet halfway through, and then we meet at the end to congratulate you for doing this, for investing in yourself. Each of these calls, you can bring your questions and then also you have community access. So my program, if you do the cohort option, that's like the $597 option. That option, you then can go into the community. It's not a Facebook group, so you don't have to worry, because I don't like when people like community and it's Facebook, and I don't like being on Facebook. So then it's like you're like, well, I got to be in this group, and then you accidentally see that your high school crush, like, I don't even want to say anything. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? You get distracted. Okay. So my program is on a different platform altogether. It's not on any social media platform. Actually, it's like my own domain thing, but so you can communicate with the ladies and me in there. And I'll post like other things and other health things that I found out. That's the cohort option. Highly recommend that option. Tier 3 is like, girl, I need you to hold my hand every single day. That is the one-on-one, where it's just me and you. That's the $5,000 investment where you have access to me. We're texting. I'm reminding you, hey, did you meal prep? Hey, check this out. Hey, we're getting real personal. We meet virtually once a week on a one-on-one call. I coach you through your stumbling blocks. I coach you through life be lifing. Like, why didn't you do the workout? Like, that's the tier 3, which should be the tier 1 because it's the highest investment. But either way, you get access to this program for the 3 months. So it's not a lifetime access. It is not, because I feel like when people do that lifetime access, it means that you think, oh, well, I'll get to it when I get to it. And you get to it now. You get to it now. Because every day you don't take care of yourself, you are taking years off your life. So I'm going to leave you with that morbid statement. Man, that's morbid, isn't it? But anyways, all the information down below for my program is down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment if you're feeling spicy, but more important, subscribe. And if you are a viewer that you're like, none of this applied, but you still watched, thank you so much. If you know somebody in your life that you're like, oh my gosh, they need this, share this video or just share the link. It's going to be the wellness program. The breath between you'll see it says wellnessprogram.thebreathbetween.co. Click that and it'll take, and you can send that link to the person. But if the person's like, wait, whoa, I would highly suggest you just share this video, because I share very thoroughly. I've been overdue to make this video on everything that my preventative health program entails. Also, if you are a corporation or you know of a corporation, I would love to share this with employees at your corporation. Holla at your girl. My email is hello@leslinepittman.com. Thank you for being here. It's been 30 minutes. I really appreciate you. Bye for now.